Hi, and welcome to Rainy Tuesdays, a podcast by friends for friends. I'm here with Ryan
Hello.
and Adam.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, doing pretty good.
Nice. I was like about to ask you like, how much rain have you guys been having? Because like Hurricane Ian. But
Oh,
I just realized that's not really a thing in the Midwest.
yeah.
It did rain last night. Like,
Okay.
sprinkled or this morning maybe. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It rained like a tiny bit.
Watch out, Iowa. Hurricane Ian.
It's been cold
Oh,
here.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
It's been like
so.
freezing here, which by that I mean like 50 degrees. But like, yeah, I'm cold. What have you guys been up to?
Not much. Just
Not
school.
much.
Fair.
Pretty much the exact same.
Yeah.
When we were talking earlier, I was like racking my brain trying to think of what I had been doing since we last recorded.
Been a full week.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little Try Guys update of they released a response to the thing.
Is the internet freaked
It
out
was
about
good.
again?
It was great. I liked it. I was like, they nailed it.
It was a good response, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because like it is the whole thing, and I think this is where I differ in opinions. Is it's like it obviously wasn't an apology because they have nothing to apologize for, but it was like a wonderful like PR statement. And we were talking before. I like don't think that we're the intended audience for PR statements because I don't think any of us particularly give a shit one way or another.
No,
About...
if they had never addressed,
yeah.
or if they had posted a picture of like two middle fingers up at a picture of this guy, like wouldn't file with me. Don't
They
care
had a
anyway.
hilarious video where the three of them, like Eugene was on the phone, but Zach and Keith were like in person, and they were like what we've wanted to say all week, and they just like backed up from the camera in like a field and then just screamed really loud and then just walked back.
Pretty good, actually.
And I was like, that's great. Best statement I've seen.
They should just, that was it.
Yeah.
That's the statement.
Oh man. It was great. Good time. But yeah, what a world. But I think it's done in my mind, at least. Probably not for some people, but to me, it's like
I mean,
over.
yeah, I'm sure some people will keep
caring,
latching on and asking for more and harassing people
Yeah.
whose personal lives are in turmoil, but
it's icky. It's fine. I think they're doing their absolute best, and I think their absolute best is more than enough. So good for them. That's enough of YouTube drama, though. We're gonna talk about teenage drama. We're doing a part 2 to the teenage advice thing, but this time less like school focused and more relationship focused, whether that be friendships or romance, for the youngsters. Except the first one's not at all related to either of those because it's just one that we didn't put in the first video. So, do you guys? I think this is a quick one too, so it's fine.
Right.
But do you have to know what you want to do with your life as a teenager?
I'm gonna say no because I still don't know that.
Absolutely not. No matter where you are, I don't think you have to know what you're doing ever.
Yeah.
I think you can constantly change things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I went to college specifically like with like law in mind, and I'm not doing anything related to law at this point at all. And so like, you know, like I think like things change, plans change, and that's okay. Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I'm sure we talked this to death maybe in the last iteration of this, but like as you learn skills, even in college, as you choose like a major, you're not learning things specific to your major. You're learning skills that are applicable to other things. Like, it doesn't really matter if you major in history or whatever, or even in high school, like you're just learning building blocks to life skills that can be applicable across the field.
Yeah.
Alrighty, now on to the juicy stuff.
What's your favorite type of juice?
Ooh,
Apple
great
juice,
question.
Grape juice, or Other type, orange juice.
God, they're all so
That's a great question.
I think apple juice is my least favorite.
Really?
I was gonna say apple juice is my favorite.
Yeah,
I want
apple
to
juice is my
say
favorite.
I want to say I loved juice. So like it being my least favorite juice is like saying it's like my least favorite type of air. Like it's still a good time.
Rank the type of airs right now.
Fresh air first.
Polluted air, pretty
you, like,
low.
Walk into a
Still
car on a summer.
Muggy, lower. Yeah. But no, I still like apple juice. It's just I think cranberry juice is one of my favorites. I like cranberry juice a lot.
Orange juice, worst.
Oh, I think orange juice is great.
I don't like orange juice.
I'd sort of like orange juice. I don't drink it for like breakfast or anything. But like if someone's like, "Oh, there's orange juice here," I'll be like, "Ooh,
a little mimosa."
That. Yeah, that too is nice. I had cranberry juice the other day in like a long time, and it was pretty decent.
I love cranberry juice. Yeah. Actually, I take it back. Apple juice is not my least favorite. Grape juice is. But again, it's still good.
I've never had grape juice, but if it anything like grape flavored candies,
it's exactly like that.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of those. So
I feel like I've mostly had like the sparkling like Martinelli's, I think it is, which is just kid wine.
This is a slight tangent, but
sure.
if you've ever had Izzy's,
love Izzy's.
They're like little carbonated juice kind of. I don't know if they're even carbonated. Little juice things.
They're a little fizzy.
They're great. There's like 4 main flavors, which is like apple, orange, grape, and another one. Maybe there's only
Clementine?
3. No, yeah, you're right, clementine. And I found out that my sister's friends think that apple is the absolute worst one, and they're insane. It's the best one.
I like the grapefruit one a lot.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
my least favorite.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Counterbalance. You need
exactly.
people who like both. Like I was.
You can have all my apple ones, and I can have all your grapefruit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was shocked that they thought apple was the worst, but then I was like, that means there will only be apple left for me when I'm home. Great.
Perfect. Yeah.
All works out.
That's the optimist brain right there.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Okay. How do you guys deal with peer pressure?
Pressure them back.
Ooh, fascinating.
Turn the tables. Real reverse card.
Oh man. Well, first of all, do you guys have any experience with peer pressure? Like, is that a thing you felt like you experienced?
I don't know. I think I think one of the ways I deal with it is like, if you did do it, like, would you be happy?
Oh, good.
Because there are some things where it's like, I don't know, like, I could do it. And, like, I don't know, sometimes, like, I think, for example, I'm doing, like, singing again.
Yeah.
And I had some friends that were like, yeah, you should do it. I was like, I don't know, I'm busy and stuff.
Sure.
But, like, I've enjoyed it. And, like,
it makes me so happy that you're, like, getting back to that. I think that's so fun.
got, like, pressured into it. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty decent. Like, I think it's, like, looking at that, and it's, like, if you're, like, unsure, then, like, it's always okay to, like, say no and not do it. But other times 100%. It's like, need to evaluate, like, oh, like, maybe this is something I should do. Sometimes it is like a nice push, but
yeah, I think it's like a weird line between sometimes. I don't think I ever experienced peer pressure, but I did experience like societal pressure to do things. Like, I think drinking's a big one. Sure. I don't drink, but I think there's a big societal pressure to do so. And so it's very,
especially
like,
in college,
especially in college. And I mean, earlier too, like, I know that was a big thing. I never drank it. I mean, obviously, but I knew a lot of people who did. And I was never like, hey man, you should do this. There's like this kind of expectation that that's something you do. But like Ryan said, if you think you wouldn't like it, don't do it. There's not a requirement for you to.
Right. Like, is it a
you'll be better off if you don't.
Yeah. Like, is it a you not wanting to get out of your comfort zone thing, or is it it actively makes you uncomfortable and you think it's a bad decision thing? Because those are two different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if it's out of your comfort zone, it probably is a good idea to go along with it.
Could be fun to try.
I feel like that was a big thing I learned in college of like, hey, just if anything happens, go with the flow and go do it, because it'll turn out better than if you're like, I don't know, kind of awkward, I don't want to go out and do that thing. You should.
Fair. Yeah.
But yeah, narrow line, because if that thing is, hey, let's go get wasted, and you don't want to do that, you're not going to have a good time, and it's not going to be helpful to you. So
I would say with drugs and alcohol, you should absolutely never do it at someone else's request. You should only ever do it like of your own volition. But I think like with other things in general, especially like peer pressure, I don't know if you guys felt it, but like as a young woman, it's like very societally like both be sexual but not too sexual kind of things. And so like in relationships you're kind of like, oh, like I don't know how far I should go kind of thing. Don't get peer pressured into that either. That's another big one. Like that's another only at your own comfort level sort of situation. But yeah, I'd say for like going out to whatever teens do. I have such a skewed perspective because small town. Like so like for me it was like a party in the woods or bowling. So it was like very weird options in a small town. But I would say like just for hanging out with friends in general, I don't know. Like give it a shot. Maybe it's like try it. See if you like it. Yeah. I also though I was not contrarian on purpose in high school, but also I just didn't care enough about like things because like other life things are happening. Like it just wasn't like teenage. This is like all of this advice is going to be skewed because I'm going to be like, if someone's being mean to you, literally stop talking to them. I don't care. Like, which isn't the nuanced perspective that is needed.
Not a terrible one.
No, I had a great time, honestly. Like, I don't regret a single choice I made. I think it would have just been like worse if I tried to like care about any of it. But
I really do. Sorry to interrupt, but I really do think that's a solid. If like someone's terrible to you, you do not owe them anything. Cut them out.
Even family. That's even the hot take.
Sometimes. Especially so.
Especially, I agree.
I mean, it's like, you know, there's different attachments with family, like where like you might have a financial dependency on them, but like you do not owe them anything.
No. Peer pressure, I think, in general is stupid. But I think another thing is try not to peer pressure. Because I think that's a trap to fall into. That was the thing, like, even in college, where, like, I didn't want to be peer pressured to drink. I didn't drink much, like, my first semester of college, because I was like, I don't know anybody, I don't trust anybody yet enough to, like, potentially get drunk around them. So, like, find people you trust, and don't try to push them into things either. Be a kind little sibling or older sibling. I meant little in the sense of small, and not in the sense of younger.
No more big little sibling based on age. All height focused.
The best kind of sibling, small.
I'm the big brother solely because I'm taller than my sibling.
Not because you're older. Oh my god. Alrighty. How do you guys deal with friend group drama?
Get into it. Make the drama about yourself.
Ooh.
No.
So sorry for the little ringing in the background. My cat has a toy and it has a bell, and I refuse to take it away from him for a podcast. But anyway, go on, Ryan.
I think it depends. Back in high school, whenever there was drama, like I would always like get into it in the sense of like try to figure it out and like mediate.
Sure.
But then again, I was alright, so I don't think.
Yeah, it was really predicting. Oh my god. You were like, I've had years of practice with mediation. dude.
So yeah, I mean that's what I would do. But also it's like, I don't know. It's very easy to take sides in that, and like, I think one of the biggest things with that too is like with friend group drama, maybe try not to take a side. Like I think it's okay to hear both people out, but like both people are going to be biased, and both people is going to make the other person not sound as good.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like one thing to know. Like if you enjoy both people, like that's fine, and you can like even like both people and just separately.
Absolutely.
And that's good.
Does that only apply for you to like fights, or did that also apply to like if two people in your friend group were dating and then broke up?
Oh,
because I feel like those are the two types of drama where it's either fighting over something random or there's a breakup.
In a way, a breakup could be a fight.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Could be combo deal.
Yeah. I think it's sort of like the same thing. Like, if you will. If there's like a fight, or like if you like both people in the relationship, or maybe you have like one person that like you didn't really know as much, and you like, knew them through the relationship, and you're like, yeah, wasn't really a big fan of them anyway, or stuff like that. I've been like, they were just a person.
Fair.
Sometimes it's like situations where like you're not really necessarily kind of them out if you didn't really know them that well.
Totally.
But like if you like both people, you don't need to feel like you need to take a side on any situation.
Fair. I think so long as there's not like something seriously wrong, like obviously sometimes people get into a fight because someone did something legitimately terrible, and like maybe don't be like, I just want to hear him out kind of thing. If it's like an actually terrible thing.
You
like
could hear them out, and sometimes like based on their answer they'll be like, yeah, well, it wasn't that bad, and it's like,
then you can be like,
maybe it was pretty bad.
I think typically my like response was always to just be a listener, but not like badmouth anyone kind of thing. So like if both parties wanted to come to me and be like, oh my god, Sarah did this and Tommy did that, then like you go, oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's like really tough. Yeah, like how are you feeling? Like what are you doing to like take care of yourself while all this is going on? But don't go like, Sarah did that? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Tommy? How dare he? Like I always knew Tommy was bad. Like don't try to like fester it. Like yeah. How about you, Adam?
I do not have any experience with this.
Okay.
I suppose I was in a friend group that was it was all girls and me, and some of them were very prone to gossip and drama.
Sure.
And so at some point, that kind of coincided when I started dating one of them.
Sure.
Is that the friend group just kind of fell apart. And I'm sure there was drama about that, and I don't remember, or I never got involved enough to care.
You were simply oblivious.
I think it's another good strategy of just to like, hey, this is irrelevant. You don't have to expend mental energy on it if it doesn't really matter, because it doesn't.
Yeah. It is interesting, like the drama that starts because like someone is dating someone.
Yes. Oh my god. I feel like I had that a lot in middle school, but not so much in high school because again, small town, and by that point everyone was just kind of going through everyone's exes. And it like wasn't a big deal to anyone because it's like, who else are you gonna date? So again, that is a skewed perspective because I know in high school it's like a don't date your friend's ex kind of thing. But if you have like a town of like 200 people, it's a little bigger than that, but essentially like 200 people, you're gonna date each other's exes, and it's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
I knew it was like two sisters that were like one grade different, and like the older sister dated the guy, and then the younger sister, they broke up, and then
we had brothers.
Wait, I had the exact
and they're like still together. Last I checked, and it's like that's. I don't know about that.
I think it's creepy.
Yeah.
But like you don't have to meet the parents again. Like you've already done that.
It just seems weird. I don't know.
That seems
it's
weird,
efficient. Yeah. Oh my lord. How do you recognize toxic friendships, and then how do you recognize toxic relationships?
I think this is sort of that goes with this point, but more so with the last point of like,
okay.
I think it's important to balance like your friendships with your relationships.
Like, yes.
I think you should have a happy medium. It doesn't necessarily have to be 50-50. But I don't know. I think both parties would not like if you're spending all your time with like the other party.
Yeah.
Like, and like there definitely is like a balance you need to find, but like your friend group probably will stop like hanging out with you less and less if you're like always ditching them to like go be with your significant other.
Yeah.
Same goes for your significant other. If you're like always like canceling to hang out with friends, like which you should like hang out with friends still, but like
yes,
if you never do anything.
I think that's a trial and error thing though. Yes. Like that was definitely something that I learned from my like first high school relationship, like my like first long one, where it was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm like just so in love with this person, like I'm just gonna spend so much time with them. Anytime that I hang out with my friends, they're also gonna be there. Like it was like this whole big thing. And then after that relationship ended, I was like, oh, I hated that. Like I didn't really like connect with my friends for the past like 10 months that much, you know? And so it's like, oh, you should balance that. So I think like easy to say, but it is like a learning curve. Yeah.
You need your escape plan.
Yes. But also like friendships matter so much.
Exactly. But like still keep in contact with your friends.
Yeah. Like don't discount them. I know it's fun to like have a relationship and everything, but like yeah, also your friends are going to do that to you. You're going to get ditched by like someone who's dating someone for the first time. It's going to happen. And don't like be mean to them when they come back because they were learning. Just be like, I really missed you. It's like it was kind of like sad because I feel like we didn't really connect, but like we can connect now. Don't be like mean to them. They're learning. Yeah. Alrighty. What if okay, did you guys ever have like a frenemy? Like someone you were friends with, but like they were real mean or like really competitive with you or like things like that?
Nope. I'm real lacking in experience on these things.
Did you ever witness any frenemies?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I would say not
like openly, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there were people who were friends who, like you were saying earlier, like kind of toxic friendships where like these people need like you need to ditch this one friend. Like, they're bad for you and they're mean and terrible. But not in like a like I kind of think of frenemy as something more than that. Not like being catty and manipulative and mean like that, but more like the competitiveness, and I don't think I ever saw that.
Okay, fair.
I would say not necessarily like a direct rivalry, but there was like someone in our friend group, like we had a big friend group, but it was like a lot of people didn't really vibe with them.
And,
but like we don't like kick them out or exclude them.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't know. No, they weren't. Well, never mind. They were like sort of toxic because it's like, I think one of the ways to like answer that earlier question is like, do you like enjoy being around them? Do you like have fights? Yeah. And even like if they make up with you at the end, is like, did you still like feel somewhat unpleasant from that experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
is it like a chore to hang out with them?
Yeah.
Like if you're always fine with this person, like friends can fight sometimes, but if it's always maybe it's not the best.
I had a friend who like, and so I'm like an introvert, right? So like typically I do feel like a little like drained after spending times with people for like long amounts of times. But like I had a friend who every time I hung out with him, I felt like emotionally exhausted. And it was like this whole other level. And then like after we like stopped being friends, I realized like, oh, I don't have to feel this way after hanging out with like friends. I can like feel like tired but happy like that I spent time with them. So yeah, I think it's like that is a really good note. It's like how do you feel after spending time with them? Yeah.
It's a good way to judge it, yeah.
Definitely. as far as relationships go, you're gonna fight in relationships. That's a thing, like obviously. But it shouldn't be constant, and it shouldn't be mean. Like I feel like those are two good rules of thumbs for like recognizing toxic relationships. Where it's like, are you constantly like fighting, or like, are they constantly like making you feel bad about yourself? Because that's probably not good. Don't want to sound too out there, but oh man. Okay, fair. This is tangentially related. What do you do if you don't feel hot? Like in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was thinking like
put a sweater on.
Wise, like
yeah. Check your thermostat. Maybe it's really low for some reason. Are there any fans on?
Like maybe you have a fever if you don't feel hot, but like you are.
Okay, let me rephrase. What do you do in high school when you feel like you're really unattractive?
Give it some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're attractive to someone.
Yes, absolutely. I promise you that if you're like a stunner in high school, it's not gonna get better than that. Chances are it's probably only gonna get worse. So like, I'm just being realistic. That's like with what I've seen.
That's very accurate.
There's also like ways to work on yourself.
Exactly.
Like, if you're a guy and you want to bulk up, you can go to the gym.
Yeah.
And like, granted, that's not going to be immediate, but like, if that's something you enjoy doing, then like, go for it. Exercise is good for you.
Exercise is great.
Same goes for women as well. Or
you're
like,
gonna
if you like
find
makeup,
what
again,
works for you. Drink water.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Water. It makes a world of difference.
Skincare routine is good sometimes as well.
Absolutely.
Makeup, guys and gals. If that's something you enjoy doing, then like, go for it.
I think finding your own personal style is really good too.
Yeah,
I think
that's great.
How you dress is, I don't know. It's so impactful to how you feel about yourself and how other people see you, and it's something that you can figure out on your own, and it's malleable. So if there is something like that you're not feeling particularly confident, or you can find clothing that makes you feel that way.
Yeah. Like I am no longer a little goth teenage girl, but I do still primarily wear black because I just do genuinely enjoy the way that it looks on me, and I feel like most like brighter colors make me look even paler than I already am. And so it's like they just really point it out, whereas I feel like black, it's like she's pale, but like it's not too bad, like, or it looks like an aesthetic choice that I'm this white, rather than an unfortunate reality. But I think like definitely finding a style, drinking water, doing things to like live a healthy life. But no, I'm not kidding. If you're like not feeling hot in high school, that's not the end of the world. You're gonna like have a glow up. I guarantee it, genuinely. Because like you're figuring yourself out. You're still like your hormones are going crazy. Like you're gonna have acne. It's gonna happen. But like things balance out. And it's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lord. All right. But also it's probably good if you don't have a fever.
Yeah, check your temperature.
Yeah. I think one of the best ways I do it is like putting like my hand at the back of my forehead, and if that feels like really warm, then I'll know like I'm sick, because like I don't feel it sometimes, or if I shiver a lot.
Oh,
shivering's a big one too.
That's bad for me because I am cold all the time. But fair. I just use a thermometer.
Yeah, I hate, sometimes I get really sick where it's like I just feel cold. But
I'll get
that's
that.
Always like annoying.
Yeah.
I'll know it's like if I feel cold but I'm sweating. Like then I'm like, I'm sick.
Yeah, that's
I had that
like
happen.
the sign. That's how I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was either like last Christmas or 2 Christmases ago that happened, and it was just annoying because I was in the basement and that's already cold.
Sure.
And so, like, I would just like bundle up and like in my bed, and like I wouldn't even want to like leave the covers because I'm like, there.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
definitely. Fears are tough, man. Anyway. Okay, what do you do when you're feeling jealous? And I want to take this like as a two-pronged approach too, of like, what if you're like jealous of like friends or like someone else in your grade, just like a random person for like other things, but then also like, what if you're in a relationship and you're feeling jealous and you're
do
like,
better, be petty. If someone's doing better than you in grades, get higher A's.
I thought you were
Get
saying
A+.
like be better at being petty or something like that. Not
if
like
someone
do
steals
better.
your girlfriend, go for their sibling.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think it's just one of those things you have to get over, and sort of like one of those like life isn't fair sort of things.
Totally. Yeah.
I think it becomes easier as you get older.
Yes.
Like I'm racking my brain trying to figure out a better answer than what you just said. Of like, sometimes life isn't fair, and
I was just gonna say, like, it's the whole like Instagram versus reality thing. I feel like that also applies in real life. Like, someone's coming to school and you're like not prone to like their personal life information, and they're like putting on a smile and like, oh my god, my life's so perfect. They might not have like everything going for them. You really don't know. And so like just like take into account like you fully know your situation. You don't know a single other person's full situation, like ever in life, genuinely. Like you don't even know like your sibling's full situation. So like just remember, like if you're feeling jealous about something, be like, they might be like jealous of something in my life kind of thing. Like it's like, I don't know the full story, I guess.
Yeah.
Grass is always greener on the other side sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
The other point I was going to bring up is like many of those things don't matter sometimes. Like they might seem like the biggest thing in the world at the time, but like looking back on them, it's like, it doesn't really matter. People take like their own life paths a little bit, and I don't know, things like grades and stuff, not to talk about the point from last time, but in a certain way it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't
like
matter.
it might help you for getting into college, and it will definitely help with scholarships, but outside of that, it's like, who cares what you got in geometry?
Right, like it matters in school. It doesn't matter in like life outside of school. But like also there's so many other things like that. Like if you're jealous of like the way that someone looks too, again, you don't look the way you're gonna look for the rest of your life. Like even me, I've like repeatedly said, like I pretty much looked this way in like 5th grade and then stopped growing. Like I got this tall. I like didn't grow anywhere else. But like I've also figured out how to like take care of my skin. I've figured out how to like make my hair prettier than it was. Like it was like always kind of just like messy and like not great. Like I would brush it and it would get all frizzy. But like now I figured out how to handle that. Like I figured out how to dress. Like, you know, like I do like fundamentally have the same exact like height and body type that I did in 5th grade, which is small. But like it was tall in 5th grade though. I'll say that. I've had both worlds. I've experienced the tall life.
Peaked in 5th grade and like
a sad fact. No, but like I was taller than everyone else in 5th grade except for like one person, and I was like, ha, I know what it's like. And then they all kept growing and I didn't. Yeah. So like while that's all fundamentally true, I do look a lot better. Apart from the like slowly developing bags under my eyes. But that comes with life.
You're going to be really ugly freshman year of high school.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to know what you're doing at all.
And probably also sophomore year. But by senior year, you'll look decent.
Yeah, look back at your pictures from like 5 years ago. I promise you look better now than you did then. And that's only going to keep happening, you know? Like, that's just the fact, or at least right now in my life in like early 20s. I don't know if I'll say that in 10 years. That's the whole thing. Okay, what if you're jealous in a relationship?
Is this jealous of your partner? Or
I'm going to say like the classic, like, oh, they're talking to someone else kind of jealousy, not like necessarily like, oh, I think they have a better life than me. Because I feel like that's still applicable with everything else we just said. Did you ever have that?
No.
Okay, fair.
Really? This is a poor episode for my thoughts and feelings on experiences I've never had. I guess you gotta trust your significant other.
Sure.
I don't know. That's,
Ryan,
I guess, my advice.
Have you ever felt jealous, like when your partner's been like talking to someone else or something like that?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, fair. All right. I have. It was in one relationship. I haven't felt jealous in a relationship since. Because I don't think I'm inherently a jealous person. Because I always have the mentality of like, if they're like gonna cheat, the relationship is just gonna be done, and then we're just gonna like move on. Like it's like that's a really quick way for me to not like be sad about a relationship ending. Because like it clearly wasn't like meant to be. But no, I like it was like that same first relationship where it was like the friends, like I was ditching them thing too. Learned a lot of lessons from that relationship. But I also realized that like if you're feeling jealous, it's for me probably not meant to be. Like it's probably not like it's probably a sign of some sort of like deeper rooted distrust, rather than just like, oh whatever. Because like and I guess this doesn't apply if you are like naturally a more jealous person. Like but if you're naturally not a jealous person and suddenly you're feeling jealous a lot, then either they're giving you reasons to be jealous and like they're trying to like up that, and that's like another toxic relationship thing, or like you don't feel secure in the relationship and it's just like, why are you continuing to do something that you don't feel like secure and happy in? Which I think was more so my situation. So I feel like typically it's a sign of deeper rooted issues that you should do some self thinking towards and see what those are. Yeah. Yeah. It's never just like, oh, I'm jealous because they talk to that person. You know?
Yeah.
I think there's always something a little deeper.
More going on.
Yeah. Okay. What do you do when you're going through a friendship breakup?
I don't know. Never really had a friendship breakup.
Yeah. More things that have not happened to me.
Okay, well, what?
I don't. I mean, I guess
like most of my friendships just end with like time.
And yeah, like they just kind of drifted apart, and then I not seen them in years. Like there was no like combustion and fighting. It just kind of over time we moved on to other things, I guess.
Yeah. Have you ever had like feelings about any of those situations where you're like, man, I wonder how like that person's doing? And
I mean,
like,
I'm definitely like curious, like, oh, sure. I hope their life's going well. But it's to me, it's like a stage of life type thing. Like, I those were people I was friendly with in high school, and I hope they're doing well. But now I have friends from college, and those are the people I hang out with. Like, it's like I've moved on to this stage, and you know, still good feelings of the time from before, and no ill will at all. But it just doesn't. I don't really.
I agree. Like, if I'm really curious, I'll message them. But yeah.
Okay, fair.
Time has passed.
Fair enough. I've definitely had friendship breakups. Whether it be like I think I had like a couple during high school where it was like, either it was like because small town gossip is a big thing. And like it was definitely something that I didn't care for. And so if they were like going full into that, I was always going to be like, I don't want to do this. Like, this isn't my cup of tea. Like, this makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. And some people are going to respect that. Some people aren't. And that's okay. I wouldn't change how I handled any of that because like I think like those were like senior year of high school, and I think those were like some of the first times I set like healthy boundaries with like friends where they were like making me really uncomfortable, and I was like, I need you to stop this. This isn't going to work for me. Not like blowing up or anything, not like yelling or any like hateful sort of speech. It was just like, I need you to stop. Like, and if you can't, you can't, but we're not going to continue being friends. And we didn't continue being friends, and that's okay. And those ones I think were like easier to handle. Because like if you're at the point where you want to set a healthy boundary and someone's saying like, no, I'm not going to respect that, I feel like that's an easy like, okay, then we're done kind of situation. Yeah, and then I had like one more recently, but with a high school friend, and that was just like, that was the like, I feel drained, like spending time with you or like hearing from you kind of thing. And I think that like that one hurt a lot because we had been friends for so long. But I think that like I treated it the same way that you would treat like a relationship breakup, which was just like comfort food and comfort movies and like talking with my friends about it and being like, I just like feel this way about this sort of situation. And it worked the same way, where it's like I processed it with like healthy measures, which was food, movies, and friends. And it was fine. And that's just a part of life.
The three, if you will.
Food, film, and friends. Yeah. I was like, movie doesn't start with F.
Movies.
Oh my god. But yeah, I do have what I call period movies, which are movies that I only ever watch when I'm on my period, and they are like the worst rom-coms possible. And or ones that I wouldn't really consider romantic or funny.
Isn't Star Wars one of the Star Wars on there?
One of the Star Wars is on there, thank you. So is like
classic
kissing
rom-com.
So like there's a range. But yeah, Attack of the Clones actually your favorite.
Okay. Bad rom-coms, I see.
Bad rom-com. My cat wants attention right now. I swear to God, I feed him right before every podcast. But I've learned that he just likes to like have attention sometimes.
Yeah, man, I wish there would be a Hallmark movie that like in the same style of Attack of the Clones.
God,
where the
wouldn't
guy
that be
just
great?
like goes and disappears. And commits a genocide and then comes
You know?
back and they act like nothing happened.
And he's like, I'm so sad.
And they both get kidnapped and have to like fight to the death in an arena.
And the girl's just like casually wearing a BDSM outfit.
And all of a
but like
sudden,
acting like it's super chill.
A ton of people come from the sky. And
her outfit gets cut but suspiciously only on her midriff. A great time. Yeah, it's a really good one when you're on your period. Highly recommend it. Yeah. No, I think like relationships ending, whether they be friendships or like romantic relationships, should be treated the same way. Because they were presumably, like if you're calling it like a friendship breakup, like it was presumably still like a big person in your life. That you cared a lot about, and suddenly they're not in your life anymore, and there's a grieving process for that. Should you date in high school? Period.
Why not?
Okay.
No, not allowed. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I would say it's probably helpful to you as a human to date, because then it's kind of a slightly different relationship to like what you're used to, and it helps you grow as a person, I would say.
I think that's totally fair. I think it's a great time to learn. And of sometimes
there's no pressure to date in high school.
God, no.
I think that should be clarified. Like,
yes.
If you don't like any of the people in your high school, do not need to date people in high school. And especially, for things like that too, Go to dances with friends.
Or don't go to dances.
Or don't go at all. Dances are bad.
One of my friends dragged me to my senior prom, and I think it was the worst, like, fucking waste of time that I had in high school. Like, for the rest of the, like, homecomings and proms that we had, we did, like, we got all dressed up and, like, went bowling, or we did, like, an escape room one time, or, like, we did, like, a paintball, like, throwing thing. It was great. Do fun things. If that's dancing for you, that's dancing. Have at it. But if it's not, find an alternative. Mine was Star Wars themed, though, which made it slightly better. Because it was on May 4th.
I wish the themes were like hard themes.
Yeah.
Dress. Like, for instance, I don't know if you've ever heard of Law Prom, but I have that this weekend. It's called Barrister's Ball here. And, you know, just like any dance. You go, you stop, there's dinner for you, and then dancing. I forgot my point. But, like, it's not all it's cracked up to be, I guess.
Yeah, that's a big thing. But, yeah, I think dating in high school can teach you a lot of things about relationships and about yourself. And that's exciting.
Yeah.
But don't feel pressured. And don't feel weird about yourself if you don't. Because especially if you're just, like, not ready to yet, then you're not ready to yet, and that's totally fine. Yeah.
And I think, like, I knew people who were like, it's such a valid point of, like, there's just no one in my school that I want to have a relationship with.
Yeah, don't force yourself.
Don't force yourself. Or if you're LGBTQIA and there's not a big community there, there's no pressure to do that at all. And you're not missing out.
Like,
college.
Yeah, it's so much easier for the gays. Small conservative towns are hard. But what do you guys think is the single best advice you could give for, like, friendships in high school?
Find people that are cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, find people that are cool.
Fair. Mine kind of harkens back to the earlier thing, because I didn't want to get into the family one because that would take longer. But similarly related to that, just if someone is in your life and they're making your life actively worse, don't keep them in your life if you can help it.
Yeah.
That seems simple, but it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a friend and they're, like, really not your friend, but you keep them around because we've been friends forever, don't be friends with them. What rain on y'all's parades?
Overwatch. I talked about this a little bit before the podcast, but Overwatch 2 just came out, and it's I don't know if it's good. It's just not playable right now because you have to wait in a line to play the game, which is absurd.
Bonkers to me. I don't understand it.
It's quite funny though. Like, I'd played Overwatch 1 like last week because it was just trying to get back into it, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
And now trying to play the new game is a pain in the butt because you just can't get on because you have to wait in line. But what I have played has been alright so far.
How long is your, like, expectation for, like, obviously they should have had it, like, ready to go by release, but, like, how long do you think it'll take them?
I think next week they'll probably have it figured out.
Okay, nice.
Next week? Wow, that's optimistic.
That's hopeful, yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Well, I mean, maybe some of the problems you described, like server issues, I would think they would get figured out fast. But some of the more, like, functional game issues, like how hard it is to get skins, I would imagine that's going to take them a while.
I think that's probably going to be like a month. And there'll probably be some issues with that. Because they're also going to, like, have a Halloween event soon. And I don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
Probably not good. But we'll see.
Mine was literally the rain, but for different reasons. I don't think I've said it on the podcast before. I don't know how often I've said it to you guys. But, like, I do have, like, diagnosed arthritis in my back because my body's bad. And I always thought, like, the whole, like, old people saying, like, oh, I can feel when it's gonna rain thing was kind of, like, goofy and not necessarily true. But no, I have had, like, the most massive, like, flare up in my back that I've had for a very long time with all of the rain going on. and I looked into it because I was curious. And yeah, old people aren't lying. Arthritis and rain don't mix that well, which is sad. Yeah, it causes a little more swelling, and it's painful. So don't get arthritis. That's my pro tip.
Advice for you teens out there.
Yeah, hey
this
teens.
Christmas, avoid arthritis.
Yeah. Arthritis? Probably not for you. But who am I to judge? Do what you want. Oh man. How about you, Adam?
I feel like before we started, I had a laundry list of tiny things, and I've now forgotten most of them. So I just, this weekend, I decided to make a new dish because I was really cycling through the same like 4. So I made what I know it as TikTok pasta.
Oh,
because, like the feta thing? And
yeah,
like,
okay. So yeah, basically baked feta pasta.
Delicious.
Very good.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, capitalism has failed me yet again, and I could not, for the life of me, find a block of feta cheese, which is requirement of the recipe. I think you might be able to do with like
the crumbled.
Sure. But the recipe calls for a block.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Hy-Vee. No blocks of feta. A lot of blocks of every other cheese, but no feta. And I was like, great. Well, I guess I'll go to Walmart. Walmart, no feta. And I was like, what is happening here? I looked online, and both of these stores say they carry blocks of feta
TikTok
cheese.
has made it too popular.
I wonder though, I had to go to like Target, which I feel like Target has more like, I don't want to say niche, but more like.
But yeah, more random,
not random, but like specialty items, I guess. Like it's not as much of the kind of mass produced. Like Hy-Vee has their own brands, and like a Hy-Vee branded Walmart has that too. Whereas Target's more like, and here's this more specific product. So finally, I was able to find it there, but it wasn't in the cheese section, which was really irritating because I got to Target, found the blocks of cheese, and I was like, oh, this is really tiny. This is bad. Looked through the like 4 selections, and I was like, oh no, I'm never going to get feta, the critical ingredient for this recipe.
Feta pasta.
And then it was in a completely different section. So mad at Target for not grouping their cheese together.
I don't want to victim blame, but I do remember your story about the garlic, where your girlfriend was just like, oh, it's right here. And you're like, I've been looking for weeks.
I will say it's a big disadvantage to be tall sometimes. And grocery stores hurt me like this, where they're like, oh, it's down at the bottom. I'm like, well, I don't see that. So
I wonder if it was in like non-cheese sections in the other ones.
That's what I think. It probably was because Target had it somewhere else that maybe the other stores just had it in different areas.
Fair.
I don't know why you would set it up like that, but
yeah.
Like what I didn't get was the crumbled feta or whatever was with all the blocks of cheese. So like,
that's weird then.
In my mind,
should be there.
I would put the block of feta cheese with the other blocks of cheese and the other feta cheese. I would not put it in a completely different section.
Yeah.
But I don't organize stores, I guess.
Sure. I do know, like in most of the grocery stores in my area, there's like 2 sections of cheese. Because there's like, or maybe even sometimes 3. I know there's like always like the like bagged shredded cheese / cream cheese
that's
section.
How Hy-Vee has it.
There's the fancy cheese.
I was
and then
like, and then the blocks.
Maybe another.
I'm surprised it wasn't with like the fancy stuff.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah. Who's to say?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm just gonna keep looking.
I have no idea.
But how was the feta pasta?
Great.
Okay, good.
I did have a substantial amount of pasta. The recipe called for 10 ounces that I looked up online, and I had 16 ounces of pasta. So it was a lot of like folding the pasta over to try to get all the sauce on it.
Yeah.
But it was very good.
Well, good. That's exciting. All right. Well, Finding cheese is hard sometimes. Being a teenager is
Capitalism
hard
is just
sometimes.
always trying to screw me. It never gives me the item I need when I need it.
Oh my god. But you know what? Maybe as a teenager you can start looking for the feta now. So that
and so you
once
know
you graduate college, you'll know.
That's our advice. Scope out your local stores to figure out where the feta is, and you won't have this problem later on.
There it is. Yeah. Alrighty. Have a sunny Wednesday. Bye.